Welcome to 12T Health. I'm Dr. Derek De Silva. Last week we talked about prescription drug abuse. This week we're addressing another dangerous drug, heroin. You may not think that the two are related, but doctors say the link is much stronger than you think. Joining us once again is Dr. Gabe Kaplan. He's the medical director of behavioral health services at Bergen Regional Medical Center. Thank you once again for joining us, Dr.
Thanks
Kaplan.
for having me.
Heroin abuse and prescription drug abuse, how are they related?
Well, they're unfortunately very related. For many, many years, the number of people using heroin stayed sort of regular. It was about 200, 250,000. We couldn't help them, but on the other hand, we didn't have more people. About also 20 years ago, the perception that pain was something that we needed to do a lot more about created a need for new medications. Physicians were prescribing pain medicines more and more people got on pain medicines.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that some of these people get addicted to the pain medicine, and when a change in tide created a situation where we no longer wanted to give so many of these medicines out, people who were on the pain medicines had nowhere to go, and they started to go to heroin. For several reasons. Heroin is much cheaper than the prescription pill.
It used to be the other way around, wasn't it? Heroin used to be a lot more expensive 20 years ago than it is today.
That's correct, but I think that one of the issues is that a lot of people who got on the prescription medicine were paying very high amounts of money, and because they don't have it anymore and they still are addicted, they need to use the heroin in order to satisfy their addiction.
How are these two treated?
Well, fortunately, there are good ways of treating these problems, and they consist on behavioral talking therapy, but also, particularly for heroin, medication therapy. We have several kinds of medications that can be used for that. There are treatment centers where you can go, doctors' offices, specialists on this, and they're very effective, and it's very recommended that if you know somebody or you have a problem, you seek help as soon as possible.
So as soon as possible. I think part of that becomes the realization that you have a problem. How do you cross that line with people?
Right. I think that the people themselves, unless they really are pretty much at the end of the rope, one of the problems with substance abuse is denial. You can always justify it. You depend also on people around you. They're seeing the changes. We used to call about these interventions that people did, where you get confronted by your family members and you say, look, you have to do something, let's get you help. Now, that doesn't mean that some people really recognize it and go on their own, but it's the community, it's the family and friends that have a really, really important role in this.
Thank you so much again. Great information. Pleasure to have you here with us.
Thank you.